Welcome to another episode of St. Vincent Untold Stories. On this episode, we give you the recent update on the La Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent. And today's for the evacuees to evacuate from the shelters. So we look at that as well. Big ups to all of my subscribers. And if you are new to the channel, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon, cause you are going to want to see more videos like this one. The scientists said that once there is heavy rain, there will be fast moving lahars, and if you are on lower ground, you need to move to higher ground. So I'm sorry for those people who evacuated, and the lahars are coming down to meet you on the lower ground, and you cannot go anywhere. Dr. Stinton said that when a volcano is not going to erupt again, there is no thermal analogies, there is no steaming and so forth, but we still have thermal analogies, we still have seismic activities, and we still have steaming. So that means we are not sure, and they are sending the people back home. Tell me something. Who is the specialist here? Dr. Stinton or Dr. Gonzalez? But you know one thing I don't understand. Before the photo and the video was published this week on Untold Stories and Paradise Adventure from Desran Rajigas and on 784 News, there were no talks about lake being in the volcano. But now you see they have image, and they are saying that they saw it through satellite. You saw something, but you didn't know if it was a lake or not. Dr. Stinton, you seems to be giving us more information than Dr. Robertson. Because even though the Prime Minister says something, you are talking the truth, Stinton. You are not holding back anything. And I understand why you are not holding back, because you care about the Vincent and the people, and you don't want to be responsible for negligence, because there's a possibility that this thing could explode again. All the people have a saying, children that doesn't would drink hot water tea without sugar. When we were growing up as boys, we heard about a story in the Lowman's Windward area, where a grandmother had lived with her grandson, and the grandmother was missing her provision. Anytime she planted her dashings, the dashings were disappearing, and she asked the grandson, sonny boy, somebody a thief out the dashing, are you a thief them? And the sonny boy said, no, grandma, and if me see any person, I will tell you who's stealing them. No matter what granny did, Granny can't seem to find the culprit. So Granny said, you know what? Let me go visit a man who could set something for me. So if the thief come in the land, it will choke their foot and it will get swell like a barrel. The grandson was checking up on money. Girls coming in left, right, and center. Drinking by the bottles. Excitement. One afternoon, the money ran out. And he decided again to go pull some dashing. When he went into the field, he mashed something and he choked his foot. He said, oh, yeah. The grandmother ran out. She said, grandson, you were stealing all my dashings all the time. You could have just told them me the truth. I would have given you some money if you wanted some money. Granny, sonny boy, my friend who said that thing for me, he wanted to dose it with some substance that the person would lose his or her foot. But it is lucky thing I told him no, not to do it. And now you see, we have a situation here where Dr. Stinton is saying one thing and then our PM is saying another thing. The man is saying if heavy rains come, then there's a possibility that the thing will run on the house them in Sandy Bay again. But the PM is saying, come, you have to go back to your homes. There is an image already circulating on social media in which a lady from the Leeward area went down to clean her home and her foot got damaged. You see what I'm talking about? How can a 75-year-old and 85-year-old go on a roof to clean a home in which they alone live? Don't they need help? You know what? Let us see what will happen today. Let's see if the persons in the shelters would stay silent. We are not condoning any form of laziness. As the Bible says, Jah help those who help themselves. But you have some people who cannot help themselves at all. They would need assistance. So the best thing for the government to do is to pay workers, get all the houses cleaned up. Then you move back the persons to the areas that they can move back to. And those that cannot move back at all, you build houses elsewhere for them, or you send them to the countries that say they would accept them. When we were small and we were hard and children, there's a term that they often use in the Caribbean. Old people say, boy, bring the coconut. Let me hit you one kung span it. You know a coconut tough? A coconut was used as a substitute for a head that is very hard. Someone who is hard to learn. Or someone who sees it the right way and want to do it their way, like how they said. I did it my way. So tell me, what happens after the 25th? Is the distribution of foods and items from Nemo going to be cut off? Are the school doors and the shelter doors going to be shut? Wasn't the food sent to the people? So are they to be distributed until they are finished? The communities that you are rushing the evacuees to go back to? Are the houses already fixed that were damaged? We saw a lot of cracks in the road. Were those roads already repaired by Bragsa? A lot of homes and shops were broken into. A lot of farmers lost their livestock and their tools. How do they start over without money in their pockets? Tell me something. If they go back today, where do they start from? Are the hospitals already cleaned up and ready for work? We saw a lot of young mothers with their babies and so forth. Are those babies ready to go back to the red zones? Well, as we know by now, just trying to reach on to Nemo is one of the biggest problems in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So are the people going to get the $400 and the $500? Who is going to give them back a call? Nemo. If Nemo is not accepting call, are they able to put forward back calls to know who deserve the $400 and the $500? I've seen some arguments on social media in which persons were saying, how can you don't want to go back to the red zone? Wasn't you eating before? But those persons, like, they lost their minds. Crops are destroyed. If you work in agriculture, in some areas, you have to start back from zero. What are you going to go back to? So they want you to just go back and find food right away. You must go back with something in your pocket. The lady that is circulating on the video on social media, saying that she needs something to go home with, she's speaking the truth, because she's also a farmer and her crops are destroyed. So you want her to do? Watch the neighbor in the face? I watch the neighbor when she feeds the dog. There are liquor booths in this country. It's like they don't take time out to analyze the situation. They just jump on the bandwagon trying to defend their party. I am not affiliated with any sides. I am not on the red side and I'm not on the yellow side. You might be fighting all your life to defend a party. But when your children and your grandchildren come up, the minister in your area might have changed. And they might not be familiar with your children or your grandchildren. So, you see, at this time you're only fighting for yourself. So you need to be careful. What you need to do when the big man is doing his wrongs, you need to try and correct him, try to get him to do better. You need to say, look, this would affect my children's future. He needs to put things in place to get ready for the new generation. in St. Vincent and the Grenadines right now. The country is stagnant. People have to go up in the minister's office to beg. The country is not going anywhere. We need creators, we need inventors. We need to get the country forward. And let me just correct something. We do have creators and inventors. But if you are not licking boots or holding up the red card, it is impossible for them to help you. What excuse are they going to say? That being in the shelters is costing the government money. The same ones who said that they could not pay the workers. How much longer are you going to tell the workers? We are not sure if we can pay you this month or next month. Have you came out brave and tell them where you got the money from to pay them? To some of the persons in the green zone. And I'm not saying everyone, because everyone is not doing it. So to those showing off themselves, and the persons in the orange zone and the red zone that is working with government, please remember, it could be the same money that was sent to help out the evacuees is paying you your salary. So be very careful what you do. You heard Bob Marley say, the stone that the builder refused shall be thine head cornerstone. With that being said, I just want to big up the entire population of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the regional islands and the international countries who are assisting and praying for us. We the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we thank you for everything that you are doing. I'm out.